Hi everyone! Today we would like to discuss the legal status of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. First of all, let's start with the argument frequently used by the officials of the Republic of Azerbaijan in order to validate its exclusive rights to the territory of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic and to discredit the prestige and status of the Republic of Armenia. We are talking about 4 United Nations Security Council resolutions on Nagorno-Karabakh. At first, it's important to consider the historical context when these resolutions were adopted. The USSR, a great and powerful state, is facing major political problems in the late 1980s, contributing to the erosion of the Soviet regime. In this context, once frozen ethnic conflicts, such as the Nagorno-Karabakh issue, become particularly important. Having found themselves pressured by the Karabakh Armenians demanding the right to self-determination, as well as anticipating the imminent collapse of the Soviet system, the leadership of the Azerbaijan SSR took an illegal step by passing the USSR constitution to quickly resolve the Karabakh issue. Why was this step taken? The reason is that the law on the procedure of resolving issues related to the Union Republic secession from the USSR was adopted on the 3rd of April of 1990. Let us take a look at Article 3 of this law. The law reaffirmed the constitutional right of the population of autonomies to independently resolve the question of their state status. Azerbaijan violated this law by seceding from the USSR and declaring itself an independent state. In full accordance with this law of the USSR, the population of the Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast and the adjacent Shaumen region, by a popular vote, decided to restore the Armenian statehood in the form of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. Azerbaijan refused to accept the results of the referendum and launched a massive attack against the civilian population of Artsakh, seeking to resolve by force the issue of the so-called territorial integrity. Thus, the 1991-1994 Karabakh War between the newly formed Nagorno-Karabakh Republic and the Republic of Azerbaijan began. At the peak of the escalation of the conflict from April 30th to November 12th of 1993, United Nations Security Council resolutions were adopted. We propose studying the contents of each of them carefully. The resolution underlines the need for withdrawal from the recently occupied territories of Azerbaijan, as well as demands an immediate ceasefire and further resolution of the conflict through the peace process. According to Vladimir Kazimierov, a direct participant of those events, Baku repeatedly avoided the implementation of resolutions and peace initiative. Thus, the leadership of Azerbaijan not only failed to comply with the Security Council's demand that it cease hostilities, which by the way is the theme of all 4 resolutions, but also discredited the status of the UN Security Council as the highest international body. Therefore, it would be fair to consider that the resolution was not being implemented by either party. Baku was not ready to give up its expansionist ambitions. Armenian troops were not withdrawn from the occupied territories because of the threat of further aggression against the civilian population. It is also fair to note that the leadership of Azerbaijan is responsible for the loss of the so-called 7 occupied territories during the hostilities, refusing to comply with Resolution 822. Let's consider the official position of Azerbaijan on Karabakh issue.
Должны быть выполнены 4 резолюции Совета Безопасности ООН. Эти резолюции очень четко посылают сигнал агрессору. Там написано, что должен быть обеспечен немедленный, безоговорочный и полный возврат оккупированных территорий. С тех пор прошло 27 лет, армянская сторона эти резолюции не выполняет.
Not one resolution deals with the status of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic itself, and the point about unconditional and immediate withdrawal from the occupied territories is present in only two resolutions, 822 and 853. Moreover, a number of other requirements specified in the Security Council resolutions were not met. For example, the restoration of economic, transport and energy links in the region. Let us remind that Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh Republic still remain under total blockade by Azerbaijan and Turkey. Besides, the ceasefire regime has been repeatedly violated by the Azerbaijani side. This is also reflected in the events of 2016, when the conflict escalated again. Based on these facts, Baku's attempt to demonstrate its commitment to the UN Security Council resolutions and to the preservation of ceasefire for 27 years is politically untenable. Another important fact, based on the international law perspective, is that the proclaimed Republic of Azerbaijan declared itself the legal successor of the Azerbaijan Democratic Republic, which existed from May 1918 to April 1920. Here is the definition of the concept of succession. So what does this mean in relation to our case? Opening the Vienna Convention on Succession of States from 1978. Thus, Azerbaijan and the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic, as well as Armenia, do not have a state border treaty, especially since Azerbaijan is the successor to the Azerbaijani Democratic Republic, when Artsakh was not yet part of this state entity. So not to make unfounded statements and to disprove the affiliation of Nagorno-Karabakh to the Azerbaijani Democratic Republic, we need to address the complex chain of events of that period. At the end of the First World War, the region of the South Caucasus was unstable. This was a particularly difficult period for Armenians, still recovering from the tragic events of the genocide. On May 28, 1918, the First Armenian Republic was proclaimed. Armenian self-defense groups were formed in the territories of Zangezur and Karabakh to resist the Turkish and Azerbaijani invaders. Khasrovbek Sultanov, a representative of the Azerbaijani side, was appointed interim governor-general in Zangezur, Shusha, Javanshir and Jibril counties in 1919 with the mediation of the British military mission. This historical fact is often used by the official Azerbaijan as an argument for the territorial affiliation of Nagorno-Karabakh to the Azerbaijani Democratic Republic. In order to determine the legitimacy of this judgment, let us turn to official sources. We should also mention that the question of the borders between the democratic republics of Azerbaijan, Armenia and Georgia was not legally resolved. Evidence to this effect is also presented. The disputed status of Karabakh has been recognized by Azerbaijan, Armenia, Russia and the international community, the League of Nations and the Paris Peace Conference. Thus, Baku's claims that Nagorno-Karabakh is part of the Azerbaijani Democratic Republic are unlawful and devoid of legal justification.